I'm sure people will join us late here. So yeah, it's good to see you guys, man. Hope you guys are staying safe and stuff, man. I know it's like a stressful time. You know, I don't know if you guys are. Does Malvern do online school, AJ, or they just let you guys do whatever you want?
Nah, we got online school.
So I know you guys are doing online school and all that craziness, and you know, it's just a tough time. I mean, just look. I'm sure your parents don't show it on the outside, you know, but I'm sure they're a little stressed out too. So, you know, make sure you're being like a good son, all right? Because you just have no idea what's going on behind the scenes and everyone's life, all right? So I'm gonna give you some. I'm gonna do some happy thoughts here in the beginning, all right? Okay, so these are our new jerseys. All right, so that's the one side. All right, so we'll get these in the summer, hopefully. All right, okay, so that's the one side. And then the other side is we're going white style. Okay, so the orange and the blacks. I'm not sure what we'll do with the orange and the blacks. You know, maybe we'll swap them in, swap them out, and you know, wear these when we beat the Crabs' ass or something like that. Okay, here's the shorts. Getting 2 pairs this year, all right? These bottom ones, they're freaking awesome, right? Right, so those are the unis that we'll be getting out, okay? So I mean, like, just like, I know I don't want to joke around too much, but like when I'm asking what you guys are doing and you're like, you know, I'm playing Fortnite, I mean, that's cool and all right? But like, this is the time, man, I'm telling you. Right, you have like a unique opportunity here, right, where you have a lot of time on your hands to get better. Like, are you doing stick work? Are you shooting on your own? Are you doing footwork? Are you lifting on your own? Are you watching like the Instagram post that Patron does, right? I would say this, all right, Patron's 2 kids, right, or 3 kids. They're probably working harder than anywhere in the country, man. He's a mad dog with them, right? I don't know if you guys seen his Instagrams that he's done, but his kids like demo every single one. But he also has Radnor players demoing, right? And I'm telling you, you can play Fortnite, all right? That's cool, man. There's time for that, all right? You gotta get better right now. And you know, the Zoom interviews we've been doing, you know, it's not like we're taking attendance or anything like that, but like the people that we've had on, like Grant Ament, he was like the first one. I mean, just listen to that kid talk, all right? He's a Haverford guy, you know. Just listening to how he approaches the game is just incredible, right? And then we had Sowers on last night. Like Grant and Sowers, I think from like an approach standpoint, they're like twins, right? Just like how good they are, but like how humble they are is just ridiculous. How competitive they are and how hard they work. So I would invite you guys to watch those interviews if you did not watch them. If you go to our homepage, there's a link on there, all right, to all those interviews. So I just before I hand it off to these 2 guys, I mean, are you taking advantage of this time to get better as a player? Okay, because I'll tell you what, there's other 2023s, right? Whether it's in Long Island or in Maryland or in Oregon or Texas. Okay, I'm telling you, man, they're doing it. Okay, maybe not all of them, okay, but you know, I think this is the very good time for you to like take your game to the next level. So what we're going to try to do tonight, and we're going to do a bunch of these, you know, so I just spoke about getting better as an individual. We're going to try to get better as a team tonight, okay, and that's by watching film. All right, so we're going to do the Long Island Express game that we played in NLF this fall in Farmingdale. There's no better way to get better, I think, right, than to watch film. Like me and Patron and Haverford, we were like mad dogs with film. Right? That is all we did. And I know he's doing it at Radnor. I know Slate does it at Episcopal. AJ and all you guys, I know Malvern does it. All right. That's why they're good. Right. They beat down the film. That Cabrini, that's just a given, right? If you're coaching college lacrosse and you're not doing that, okay, you got no chance. Okay, regardless of the athletes that you have. Okay. All right. So before I hand it off to Ron, all right, you guys really haven't experienced this probably too much because it's more of a high school thing when you're watching film. It's very easy for us to watch the film and be like, man, you should have done this, right? You should have done this. Okay? We understand that on the fly it happens in like a half a second, and it's hard to do that. All the things that we're going to recommend tonight on the spot. Okay, but just understand that, don't take it personally. We're just trying to make you better as a player, right? And we're just trying to make the team better. Okay, all right. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to Ron here. All right, let me make you a host, Ron.
Hey, everybody, let's get everybody's picture up, guys. Tommy Boy, Dylan O, Brody, make sure you put your pictures up. There you go, Dale. Where's my man, Tommy? Put it up.
All right, you should be all set there, Ron.
Gotcha. Let me see. Here we go.
Tommy, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How about you, Coach?
Good. It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
All right, so fellas, everybody can see the screen. I'll make it full screen here. Everybody good? Hear me? The whole nine? Yes, no?
Yes.
Trav, you can hear me, everybody? All right.
Hey, man.
So, fellas, I actually, just before we start on this, I kind of wanted to touch on what Trav was talking about, because I had trouble with this throughout my playing career a little bit. You know, when he's talking about trying to always get better, you know, why I had trouble with that is, you know, you get that in your head of like, all right, like everyone, you don't want to be outworked, right? You always have everybody else is working, you know, you have this and that. It becomes a little daunting of like, all right, well, you know, how much do I have to do? You know, like what should I be doing? This and that. And I remember when I was in college, it was like, man, I gotta be in shape. I gotta be ready to go for like a 2-hour long, you know, Chris Bates Drexel practice. So I felt like every day I had to go out and I had to do 2 hours of sprints and running and work. And it became a lot, you know, and I was like, man, like this sucks. And what I found was my attitude was wrong on that, in the fact of, you know, what you really need to make sure that you're doing is a little bit of something every day, right? A little bit of something every day will be much better than doing, you know, 2 days a week of a long, rigorous workout, right? Like you don't need to do, you know, squats super heavy to where the next 3 days you can't walk right and you're having trouble.
Yeah, Brody, let's see your screen there, buddy.
What's up?
Sorry, Ron. Let's see your video there, Brody.
And I worked with a guy, John Haas, who was an All-American at the University of Maryland, still plays now in the PLL, has been playing professionally for a while, was on Team USA. And I was amazed at how he did something every day, but it wasn't like stuff that killed him, right? Like he would go out and be like, all right, my workout today is I'm going to do 10 like full field sprints, you know, and he would do them hard and he busts his ass. But that would be his thing for the day. Some days he wouldn't feel like working out at all, right? And he would sit down, he would just do, you know, I'm going to do 100 push-ups and a couple crunches and stuff like that. But his goal was to not take a day off. But the thing that I never saw him do when my time of working with him was, other than like just being out and shooting and having a good time and working on his game that way, he wasn't killing himself by trying to do these like, hey, I got to do these marathon workouts to be ready for A, B, and C, right? His goal was to keep himself into, you know, good shape. And then once he got into, all right, now I got to get ready for the season, I would get into great shape. And I thought that was a really unique thing and something that I didn't have the right mindset in when I was your guys' age. So it's a great way for you guys to get a little bit better there. Starting through, same thing like Trav said, we're going to go through film, you know, and again, trying to not make it bad play versus good play or anything like that, but try and make it to like, these are the principles that we think are going to give you the ability to have success at the highest percentage. All right, so we start off, right, first play, Tommy picks up a great ground ball. All right, you know, uses his wheels. We get a great 4-on-3 opportunity. Okay, as this plays through, right, hits the point man, hits Frenchie. All right, Frenchie takes a, you know, what looks like might be a bad play, all right, or a turnover, and scores a goal. As we go through on this, right, one of my offensive key, you know, personnel things is you always want to catch the ball with your feet moving. Okay, this doesn't need to be a sprint towards the ball, right, but your feet have to even be just a couple choppy steps moving towards the ball. So if you have a defender coming at you, you're already moving, you're not stagnant. All right, for you guys, I always use the analogy, all right, and you guys might be a little too young because you're not driving yet, but if you want to get to going to 60 miles an hour in a car, it's a lot easier when you're already going 10 miles an hour, right? If you're stopped at a stoplight and you just try and floor it, it takes you a while to get moving, okay? So being able to, even if it's just moving your feet a little bit, all right, is huge. Frenchie ends up, like I said, makes a great play, Okay, but as this goes slow, right, we catch it with our feet set. All right, which now you can see he's catching the ball in a dangerous spot with a defenseman that's really, almost already all over him. Okay, but you can see there's a lot of space if he attacks this ball. If he catches this ball on the other side of this ref right here where my mouse is, right, this is another 5 yards for this defenseman to go. Frenchie might score a much easier goal by just catching, stepping in, and hammering one. All right, and now he's got an easy look at the cage. All right, additionally, if he's on this side of the ref, he can catch the ball and also have the opportunity to throw it down to the righty attackman here, right, who is in a good spot to be able to catch and shoot as well. Now we have multiple looks, okay, right? We end up, like I said, making a great play, all right? We handle pressure. We get a great shot, right? But there was a 50-50 chance on this one, if you will, of a turnover and the ball going the other way or us scoring. Luckily, it worked out this time, but we want to make sure we're just always having our good spacing. All right, this one, okay, you can see we're subbing. Guys are coming on. We're getting our D guys off. Okay, we catch. All right, we're ready to attack. All right, I'm a big believer of I always want guys on the offensive end to attack matchups that they can win. All right, and what I mean by that is I don't care who it is with the ball. I don't care who it is that's defending the ball. All right, if we're able to take, a 15-yard run like this at a defender, whether it's a pole, whether it's a short stick, like I feel really good about us being able to win those matchups. All right, so one of the most simple things that I always look for in offense is how many times can we create this type of space, even inside the box as well, for us to catch and go at our defender. All right, here's a great opportunity, right? Will's catches, we're still kind of, subbing a little bit. Guys are getting on the field. You can see we're not, fully crazy set up. All right, but what I've always learned is this is where the guys on the backside might have to really get their butt moving. Okay, whether that be, a guy getting into the crease, whether that be guys getting to the wing, all right, wherever it may be. Okay, so we got to make sure the backside's working really, really hard here. All right, now, all right, our first and foremost, actually, I'm gonna go with Coach Slade, who always we got to play it through first before I talk. I always get into talking.
Wait, I learned that from you.
Yeah, I know. I gotta. I got it. Sometimes I go back and forth, but so we get a great dodge. All right. Okay. We go right by our defender. All right. But here, and this is as always, right? Right now, we get an okay shot, right? At best, I would say this is an okay shot. It's deep. It's on the run. We have guys that are just getting on the field. We haven't had the ball very long. Okay. If we're going to take a shot this early in the possession, we got to really make sure we're at 10 yards or in. Right? This is a tough one. Okay. But what I love about this and what we want to be able to see is, right now we throw the ball forward, we get the ball out of our stick. We have 6 guys on the defensive end for them that are going to be scrambling. All right. And make the rest of our teammates have a much better chance at winning a matchup as well on the backside. Okay. What I'd like, all right, and going through our spacing, this is where I'll roll back a little bit. Okay. Trying our best to be able to identify right where the slide comes from. Okay, so here, the slide guy actually slides off of Brody. They slide up top. All right, not an easy pass to make, not something that we have to make, but, we can throw the ball back here, which now gets the whole defense rotating along the backside, right? Or just very simple. We talk about at Cabrini of just throw the ball forward, right? It's the easiest way to get the ball out of your stick is to just throw it forward. Right, and we could throw the ball down, right? I think we have Zeller back here, right? We could swing it to the backside. We might have skips. We have looks all over the place, all right, with just getting and creating one, first initial slide, okay? When we talk about this with our spacing, like I said, Zeller and guys in the attackman, right? We want you guys to be the throw forward, but we also want you guys to be able to play off your defenseman. Like right now, we can see this D guy right here is hedging up the field, right? And as a defensive coach at Cabrini, I always talk about it you basically have a free slide. As this goes through, if I roll this through a little bit so we get our righty attackman, in my book as an offensive coach, we are playing 4 offensive guys above the goal, 1, 2, right, 3, and 4 up top with Brody. And Long Island Express is playing with 6 defensemen, right? So now we're in a really, really tough spot. Okay, so we got to make sure we're in that happy medium of, hey, am I fading to catch the ball or, am I in the play? What do I mean by that? All right, right now, if we look at this, right, if Zeller was even just standing here, like goal line extended, back cutting his guy, we might get an on the doorstep goal, right? We also, I'm not sure who this is, but if this guy right here is kind of like trying to hold this back pipe, okay, it allows his defenseman to have to play him. And who knows, maybe Frenchie cuts through the crease and occupies this open space with this little like kind of circle inside. And now we have a lot of really good looks. Okay, the hard part with this play is, you know, we're a throw forward, but it's just kind of killing space. We're not really in the play, all right, and we're not being able to kind of space the field properly the way that we would like. Does that make sense? All right, hopefully, you know, everybody that they kind of understand that, right? When you get to, you know, advanced levels of lacrosse, and I'll give you this, and I kind of touched on it. I learned this from Duke, right? Duke talks about if they slide from the top row, we want to throw the ball back. All right. If they slide from what they call the base, we now call that a Cabrini. If they slide from like the bottom row, if you will, the three close defensemen, you want to throw the ball forward. Right. So this is where we could see, you know, with this guy sliding high to Wills. All right. You know, boom. If we throw the ball back to Brody, now we can try and beat him on the backside.
Like it.
All right, and I let this play out, fellas. This is big for the offensive guys, right? Bad shots, right, turn into great opportunities the other way. Okay, and this is putting a lot of pressure on the defense. All right, it's tough as like I said, those deep shots that are easy saves for goalies that get the ball up and out, right, are killers, especially in these short club games. All right, where you're trying to, you know, maximize your best plays. All right, this one I thought was great. Coach Slate's going to give a lot of love to the D guys for the one-handed jump passes or the one-footed jump pass. Okay. Another one. All right. Right now. All right. And let me, I'm going to call out, who do we got on here? Frenchie, you're going to turn off your mic. What do you think? Do you think this is a great time for AJ to dodge here? What's your opinion? As we kind of let this play through, what do we think? Good, bad, too early, too late? What do we think?
It looks like a good matchup, and it's like unsettled, I guess. But
Yep. Good matchup, unsettled. So you would say this is a great time to dodge.
yeah,
All right. Perfect answer, right? I completely agree. Okay. As always, as this goes through, right? AJ, you know, he's got a short stick on him. Feels good. Like I said, he's already moving down the alley. All right. And Long Island Express they're in a scramble situation, okay? They're in a spot where they're not going to be able to be super organized with a slide, a two slide. You know, where's their help ball coming from, okay? As this plays through, as we saw, right, AJ goes right down the alley, boom, bang, score, right? Great take, all right? And this is awesome, okay? The negative when you start looking at this as a coach is we have to always be prepared for contingency plans, okay? Right now, as an attackman, we need to be making sure that we're working together, we're communicating together of what happens if they slide to AJ, right? What happens if AJ, you know, gets himself in trouble? All right, what if AJ doesn't shoot this, does he then have to run all the way around the goal and continue to hold the ball, which is something we don't want to do. Okay, so as we roll through this nice and slow, okay, we need to get somebody right to X. All right, even just first and foremost, like you can see, we have a clear through with our lefty. All right, we have a guy on the crease, a guy that's like kind of on the wing, but not really wide enough to be able to catch an attack. All right, at this point, we got to make sure, right, that AJ gets somebody to slide to him, right, because Long Island Express could basically send a defenseman, cover four guys with two inside, all right, and now they're winning, all right, a scramble situation that we could win. Okay, this is a great time. If AJ draws a slide, doesn't shoot it, he throws the ball, boom, down to X. We can attack the backside. We can throw it to the wing, all right? And we have a lot of options to just keep us moving, keep us playing, okay? Like I said, great play by AJ, but we want to make sure we can take advantage of these, and we'll get a lot more goals like this if we're able to make sure we're spaced and feeling well.
Hey, Coach Trav, real quick. When we yell, that's a green call, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so when we yell green, we should shift out of that. Right now, that was a 4-on-3, right? So AJ, or a 4-on-4, right? But our guys are upfield because they're thinking it's a transition play, right? Once
Yep.
we yell green and cut through, then we got to get a guy to X, right? So as Lucas cuts through, if we're yelling green, maybe that would be the signal to get someone to X. You know what I mean? Just a thought,
Yeah.
because everybody's upfield,
Yep.
you know?
Like guys
Yeah,
down the
yeah,
road
I was-
now. Ron, just real quick, sorry. Like down the road,
Chime in.
we would like to not have to yell green from the sideline and tell you what to do in every single situation. You know, we have one of our better middies with a short stick on him in a 4-on-4 situation. That's probably automatically going to be green every single time.
Yep, no doubt.
Yeah, Ron, I was going to add as well, right? Asking the attack. I mean, guys, if AJ misses this shot, who's backing up the shot?
Yep.
That's a turnover if he misses the net here.
Yeah, it's a great point. Absolutely.
But he doesn't miss it.
No, he does not. All right. So, AJ, I'm going to apologize on this one because we go from a goal to, all right, another one. All right, maybe not so hot of a play here. All right, so I wanted to show this. This is kind of like a dual clip, 2-and-1. Okay, you know, a great great approach. Again, I always love just going back to the basics, right? AJ catches the ball, right, 5-6 yards, all right, of space. This is ideal for all offensive guys. Defensive coaches are constantly telling guys, hey, get out, close the gap, make it harder on them. All right, so this is a great time to dodge, great chance for guys to beat guys. All right, but again, always having to be able to see where the backside goes. All right, so we go underneath, and if you look at this, all right, we take a shot at, you know, is maybe a yard above goal line extended, you know, goalie's right on the pipe. This is a really, really tough shot to make, okay? But when we look at what could possibly be happening, right, is throwing the ball forward. And right now, we basically on the backside have 1, 2, right, 3, and I think we even have somebody up here as well, all right, against 2 on the backside. Okay, when you get to college and even, you know, high school in the summer and the whole 9, like finding these 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s on the backside, right, are where you're going to score goals. Okay, I mean, this is, like I said, not a great shot, okay, but an unbelievable play, right? If AJ just dumps this over, right, to an attackman behind and we push the backside, right now I think Lucas might be getting a step-down shot from the wing, all right, that I know Coach Slade is making them shoot all the time in the backyard, right? We might have a skip up top. We might have guys inside. We might get a lot of easy looks at the cage where we can get a much better one. All right, and when you see me, I know I'm a little bit of a madman in the summer, you know, screaming like get the ball out, right? This right here is even, you know, if I could put my college hat on, like these are heavy recruiting, you know, spots, right? Where my question in a guy that takes this shot in a game goes like, you know, can he get the ball out of his stick other than shooting, right? And it's something we talk about a ton. If this just gets dumped to X, right, it's wow, what a great ability to draw double team, draw slides, get guys to come to you and get the ball out quick, you know, to the backside, right? It's a huge thing in recruiting that I look for. I know a lot of coaches look for, right? And it's a great thing. That's, as we talk about, not always goals are the great plays, right? But you could see if we dump this to the backside, we have a lot of options. All right, now as I break this down, okay, attackman at X, right? Look how deep we are, okay, and look at where we could be. All right, for all you guys, right? This is where we need to be shuffling to the backside. So now when we catch this, right, AJ's so low that we could almost catch this all the way back here on the backside, and now we're attacking goal line full speed. All right, we want to make sure we're fading behind the goal. All right, and you'll see it on the next clip as well. All right, where why we want to do this. Okay, it allows us to get to the backside significantly quicker. All right, we do a great job. We fight for a GB. This is all great, right? We run away. We clear our hands. Boom, we catch. We quickly bang it to the backside. All right, again, another great spot where we're going to win dodges, right? A lot of space. You look down here, right? A lot of space for us to attack. Feeling really good about it. All right, swing in the fields going from bottom right corner to top left corner on this is terrific, right? This is high-level lacrosse that I love to see, all right? As this goes through, okay, sorry, as I'm clicking around too much. As this goes through, right, we'll kind of see how it plays out, all right? Not bad spacing, right? We got two guys inside working on our little pick game, right? We have our throwback guy, all right? But look where our attackman is a little bit. Okay, again, just only having the ability to throw the ball forward, where right now, if this pass gets thrown down, we want this pass to be thrown more to the X guy, right? This allows us to throw the ball to X one pass, right? Either attack goal line extended or, right, catch it X, quickly swing fields, and we could throw the ball back to AJ, who just picked up a ground ball, and look at all the space over here, right? Right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you count the crease guy, 5 Long Island defensemen on the ball side of the field, right? Being able to swing the ball to the backside is what we want to be able to do. All right, we end up getting the ball out, okay? This defenseman, you can see a little sliver of his helmet, basically slid to Wills, all right? And watch how he is able to recover all the way back because we carry for like 15 yards, right? We carry so long that the defense is able, right, to get completely set up coming back to us. If we catch this at X, here's our 2-on-1, right? We're going to run to 102 or whatever, 02 or whatever number this defenseman is. He's either going to play us and we throw it to AJ who shoots, right? Or he's going to be worried about his guy and we just come around and score it, okay? But we got to make sure as attackman, right, is the guy, the Dodger gets lower to goal line, the more we start fading to X, start fading to the backside. Does that make sense for all the attackmen? Everybody, head nod,
Yeah.
yes?
I mean, guys, that's a huge point. You know, like if you're not a threat on the field, you know, we're basically playing 5 versus 6 on offense. So that clip right there, the guy that slid to the ball, right? When our guy threw it down the side, the guy that slid to the ball left the ball after he slid to it and went and played the guy behind, right? Because we were not a threat at all, right? That's a big point right there.
Hey, the other point is the two guys in the crease play. No one cuts the pipes, kind of just muck it up inside.
It's a good point. We'll kind of go through this real quick, right? And it's just, as we know, getting two guys inside, right? It's just trying to communicate here, right? Are we sealing coming off, right? Are we sealing slipping? Are we cutting pipes with two cutters, trying to just make the defenseman figure out what we're doing, right? You just want to make sure
one hand right there. That
we're
doesn't
working
work.
together.
So is Fuzzy or Frenchie.
All right, as this plays out, right? Another great one. This is like we talked about, not having to be calling green. Okay, Tommy goes right by his defender. All right, and again, just trying to read and see how it plays out. Okay, not a bad shot. All right, but look at what we could get, and look at what's open. All right, so again, if Tommy goes by. Slide guy from the crease, okay? We want to make sure, regardless of who the crease guy is, I don't care if it's a midi, an attackman, I don't care if it's a defenseman, whoever, if you're on the crease and your slide guy leaves you, right, we got to follow behind him, okay? We can't just sit and fade backwards because right now, look, we have one defenseman covering our crease guy, right, and our wing guy. Okay, our spacing is struggling in these early spots because we need our attackman to be working a lot faster. Okay, right now we're in a much better spot, right? If we cut, okay, if we're a little wider on the wing to be able to catch an attack, we could throw this to X, throw it to the wing, and maybe get an easy shot. All right, throw it to X, boom, crease guy cuts down hard to it. We might get an easy one there as well. Okay, right now, and again, it's trying to get you guys to see this. You're young. I was the same way when I was a player like you guys. I wanted to just dodge and shoot. Right? But dodging, drawing slides, trusting your teammates, can be highly beneficial as well. All right. So we get a great ground ball. All right. I'm going to let this play out because I want guys to be able to see their goals as much as possible. All right. Let me get D-Rock on here. What do we think? Why do we think this is a great play? Outside of the dodge, what else is great about this besides the fact that we dodged and scored?
Well, the attacker in the right spot.
The
Like-
attacker in the right spot. Are the middies in the right spot?
Yeah,
Why do you say all these guys are in the right spot?
because then the field is just balanced and like everyone is spaced.
Yep. I think it's a great answer, right? When he's saying everyone's in the right spot, all right, if we go right now and we just pause this, okay, look where everyone's at, right? And I always kind of use this regardless on the defensive end, same with the offensive end. It's like a lot of times you can almost morph on offense. If you morph like a 3-3, right, set, if you morph like a 2-2-2, if you're going to have two guys inside, right, it creates a lot of space for guys, okay? So we get a great dodge here. All right, and sorry, all my Zoom faces are kind of in the way here, but we have, right, a throw forward, we have a throw back behind, we have a crease guy, a backside wing guy, and a guy top center, right? And we create a ton of space by balancing the field to where now we're able to dodge, get our hands free, and we're, A, not worried about a slide, and we're not worried about a slide because if somebody comes, we're going to see it from a mile away and have plenty of time to be able to dump it forward, right? If 90 hedges down, boom, we throw the ball forward, we swing the field to the backside and get them rotating. If they come from X, boom, we can roll away, throw through, all right, and swing fields. But this is a big one, right? And I also thought Zeller did a great job in here, okay, of he kind of back cuts his guy, right? I mean, he could stand and watch. It doesn't look like the offensive guy has any intention of feeding the ball. Right, he's dodging to score, but this cut, right, keeps that defenseman from going, right? He's also open, right, and we have great spacing. I mean, I thought this was just a great clip, right? We get to the middle, the dodge is awesome, the goal is awesome, but everything around it is great as well.
Brendan at X, perfect spot. Yeah, it was all good.
So this here, fellas, I put in is our man up, okay, and just great principles for guys, okay, you know, regardless of if you play man up or if you want to get all man up, right, everything. When you're man up and zone the whole nine, right, is what we want to try to do is just make sure that we're, as an offensive group, always stepping into gaps, right? We put 5 on the perimeter with Frenchie inside. We don't want the defense to be able to just spoke out, like, right, like one to us, right? Hey, I'm just going to play AJ on the wing. I'm going to play up top. I got one guy up top, and then everyone's pisting inside. We always want to move and try and step into those gaps, okay? So we run D-Rock around. We throw down. All right, ball comes back, goes back down to him again. All right, just this simple move of D-Rock moving his feet, okay, changes the entire defense, right? Right now, Long Island Express has, okay, one guy that's planning on playing them. Right now, they're in. He's playing here. This guy's playing the wing. He's up top, right? He's got here. Everyone's spoked around the perimeter. But D-Rock kind of steps into this gap, right, which makes this guy have to play him. It also makes this guy come down to Frenchie, all right? And we always want to make sure we're ready to go, okay? Taking space, okay? Right now, we skip the ball through. I love it on man up. We skip it up top, all right? And I think we take a little bit of an aggressive shot, all right? And one that's just kind of an easy save, all right? But when you see this, as it goes through multiple, you know, kind of points, all right, is always seeing the crease, all right? But seeing as we get these guys rotating, right? We can step into this gap here, throw one more. We throw down. We got Frenchie cutting back through, all right? We can get guys rotating off of what we're trying to do on man up. That's going to make it a little bit easier. All right, and additionally, like I said, fellas, I'm a shooting. I hate saying like shots are not great, right? All shots are not created equal. Some shots are good, but when we're deep, fellas, we can't have easy saves, right? And until we get to, hey, you know, I know I could shoot it 100 miles an hour, or I can hide my stick, or I know I'm shooting a screenshot around the defender, right? These shots from deep, what we always say at Cabrini is you're shooting extreme corners, right? And especially here, you're shooting extreme corners, right, to the low corners, right? Allow us, hey, I'm gonna let it go. Maybe I'm feeling it a little bit. But if that goalie's going to make a save, he's got to make a save on the ground. He's got to corral it, right? These saves that are catches go the other way and lead to goals for the other team. But right now, if we shoot it low, Frenchie might pick this up as a rebound and get a shot, right? We might just miss the goal and back it up, and it allows us to keep playing offense, right? Shooting kind of high to high when we're at outside 10, becomes very, very difficult.
2 other points, Coach.
Yeah.
We should always know whether they're in a box and 1 or a 5-man. If they're in a box and 1, that means Frenchie's shut off, or box 1 or diamond. That means Frenchie's shut off. It's going to be really hard to get it to him. If they're in a 5-man, which they are, that means every guy on the outside has a guy on them, and the backside defensemen are pinching in the Frenchie, which means if we work it hard enough and well enough, usually you get it to the lefty on the other side. It would be Lucas.
Yep.
And Frenchie curls to the pipe because he's a righty. It's usually open every time. If not, a skip through.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron, I just want to give you like a little head. You got like a few more minutes here.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little behind. We'll get them. I got 2 more. I'll try and make these quick. All right. So first, all right, great play. D-Rock takes 2 cross checks. Okay. Ends up, all right, getting 2 penalties. Okay. Spacing, right? Even here, as D-Rock's getting jacked, we want to make sure our middies up top, we're giving him space, right? If this is Tommy trying to get to the football hash marks, right, we can get to this backside football hash mark a little bit, allow space, all right? I think we kind of are a little aggressive. We got jacked a couple times. We, are kind of into it. I think we take an average shot. Okay, but I love the aggressiveness, right? We fly through, boom, we pick up a ground ball, all right? And we talked about this a bunch as a coaching staff. Again, just seeing space, all right? The best rule of thumb that I can give you is just like we watched in the other clip, ball goes this back corner, we want to try and get everything away as far as we can, okay? So first and foremost, the ball swings field here, right? And I think if we throw the ball up to this wing, we got a great opportunity to dodge and create a lot of space. Okay, Long Island Express, their defense, again, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, right? All on that side, a lot of space here, okay? As Trav was talking about to begin with, okay, that's a rule of thumb, all right? It's not exactly, all right, a perfect science. Here we actually end up going back into it as they're trying to chase to the far side. All right, we find Frenchie and we get a great shot, just goes off the pipe. All right, I thought this was great offense, but we want, again, talking about green and different things, we want you guys to play super fast out of these scenarios. All right, our last one. Okay. Great take by Tommy. Okay, we missed the cage. It's fine. But as always, and I want everyone to see it, just look at the space Tommy has. All right, these are always dodge opportunities, right? Look, we 4 guys on this side. This almost looks like a one-on-one with Tommy. He attacks the middle, right? Gets in close to the goal, gets to the middle of the field. I think it's an absolutely great take. All right, another one again. All right, and this is both good and bad, okay? We end up scoring on this, okay? I love the space. If we can create space for these guys like this, all right, we want to do it every time. All right, but what we do want to make sure we're doing is we're getting ready for quick restarts. We're playing as fast as we can to be ready to go regardless of the defense, okay? We're getting a dodge in this corner, and we're not really super set on what we're doing, right? Guys are all over the place, Frenchie's a little bit, possibly backing up the cage, but we don't have another attackman behind there, right? We want to have a crease guy. We want to have an attackman. We want to be in that 3-3 set a little bit, like we saw on our great spacing on our other dodge behind and goal. So, but great take, great way to get to the cage, inside roll, get to the middle, and score it. Any questions, comments, concerns, fellas? I know I went a little over time.
Awesome, Coach.
Thanks, Ron. Ron, that was great. Before you guys, before we transition over, if you could just switch it over, if you could just switch it back to me as a host, Ron, so I could just
Yep.
show these guys a couple things. All right, so I mentioned this in the beginning, guys. Like the interviews that we've had on here, all right, over the past hour long. I just want to show you where they're, like, we have them all on here, all right? So if you go to Mace's website, okay, we have them all on here, all right? So here's Sowers, Dom Starzia. You guys are so young, you probably didn't even know who that guy is. He's like the head coach at Virginia before Coach Tiffany took over. We did an interview with Timmy Brooks. I think most of you guys know his story, right? Here's the 2025 virtual practice, right? And here's Grant, right? The first one we did. And then, Coach Garling, back in the beginning of April, did a little film breakdown of the national championship game last year. So, I mean, just to point out a couple things here, all right? So I know you guys, you like to watch guys relative to your age, right? So I'll talk about Grant and Sowers. If you guys have not watched those videos, okay, you guys are totally cheating yourselves, okay? All right, so Grant, okay, most of you guys know, he's like the most famous lacrosse player in the United States right now, okay? I mean, he has the NCAA record in the history of the United States for assists in a season. All right. If you have not watched this interview, you gotta do it. Okay. And more importantly, just to hear his approach to the game, how he approaches the game. All right. And it's, he's very serious about lacrosse, but he mentions that he doesn't take himself too serious. Okay. And then I'll jump to Sowers, right, from last night. I mean, what a most humble person that I've ever met in my life, okay? And he has the most points in the history of Princeton lacrosse, okay? And if you guys know Princeton lacrosse at all, I mean, there are some crazy players that went through that program, and he has the most points in Princeton lacrosse in 3 seasons. Okay. I mean, if you look at the 5 games that he played this year, he averaged, okay, are you guys ready for this? 9.4 points per game. Okay. That's a crazy number. Okay. But back to Mikey Sowers, he doesn't even care about that. He cares about winning, working hard, leaving a legacy at Princeton, leaving the program better than he started it. Okay. So if you're going to watch 2 of them, all right, if you're serious about lacrosse and you're not watching this guy talk and you're not watching Grant Ament talk about how they approach lacrosse, I think you should look yourself in the mirror and say, am I really a serious lacrosse player, or, do I just like to do it because it's fun? Okay. So off my soapbox there. So just a little prelude. Next week we've had 2 offensive players, so Sowers and Grant. So next week we're gonna have Sabia on. Okay, you guys know Chris Sabia. He graduated from Princeton last year. He's a defenseman. He's a first-team All-American guy. So we'll have him on next week. All right, so we're gonna transfer over here for the middies and the defensemen. The attackmen, again, you're welcome to stay on, but I know we all got family stuff to do and all that, so don't feel obligated. All right. So I'm just going to kind of say the same thing that I said in the beginning of this meeting because there's some new guys on. I hope you guys are staying safe during this craziness out there. It's a tough time for everyone, right? It's very stressful, whether you're doing online classes, which is like a totally different scenario than you're used to. What I would say is, like, just think about, the stress that your parents are under. Okay, they might not portray it. Okay, but everyone's under a lot of stress right now. Okay, just make sure, right, that you're being, a good son. Okay, so just think big picture there. Okay, as opposed to, I'm gonna wake up at 12, all right, and play, Fortnite or whatever. Okay. So I just want to show you. So these will be our uniforms. All right. So these are going to be our uniforms this summer. Hopefully, if we get out on the field. All right. So I think the blue and orange, I like it a lot. Okay. If you flip it over, okay. So this is the other side of it. All right. We're going white style. Okay. I think it's a pretty good look. All right. And then we got 2 pairs of shorts here. All right. Okay. All right. Those are both like those bottom ones. They're awesome. Okay. Yeah. We might wear the orange and black a little bit. I don't know. Okay. We'll kind of leave that up to you guys. We'll kind of leave that up to you guys. What you want to wear. In which games. All right. So what I'll say, just to prelude the film session. Again, I'm repeating myself for the guys who were on in the last one. All right, there is no better way, okay, off the field, all right, to improve your game, all right, than to watch yourself do things good, okay, or situations where you could have done things better on film, okay. Like me and Patron, when we were at Haverford, we were total mad dogs with film. Him and I watch film all the time with each other. We telestrated it. Right, he had attack film sessions. I had goalie film sessions. He did face-off film sessions. We did ride clear film sessions. Right, I know Slate does it at Episcopal with Batesy. Okay, I know Malvern does it. Okay, I know I said this earlier. Like Coach Garling, if he doesn't do that at Cabrini, he's going to get fired. Right, because that's just straight up expected in college. If you're not doing that in college, all right, go get a different job. All right, so. That being said, right, when we show these clips here, okay, it's always easier, right, for all of us to watch film and be like, man, I should have done this in this situation instead of this. Okay, it's so much easier to watch from like a bird's eye view, right, as opposed when you're playing 1,000 miles an hour and some defenseman beating the piss out of you, right, and you're trying to decide what to do. Okay, we get that. Okay, so don't take this personally, right? What we're trying to do here. All right, we're just trying to make you better as an individual player, right? And we're just trying to make the team better. That's all this film session is about. Okay. All right, so Slater, let me hand it over to you, bud. I'll make you a host here. Yeah. All right, you should be good to go, Slate.
Let me see here, buddy.
Guys, if you would, while Tom's loading up his stuff, if you just turn your video on if you don't have it on, all right? Yo, what's up, Colleen? Huh?
Like
Colleen, you hear me, man? Unmute yourself, Colleen.
Coach, how are you?
Good, man. How is virtual Haverford going?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
class like
pretty-
every day, or how does that work?
Yeah, we had 3 classes today.
Yeah.
So
You get like lectured, or how does that work?
yeah, we do some like online work with each other, and then we just get lectures too. So
Yeah.
It's really
Who's your
fun,
favorite
but-
teacher?
it's a hard one.
Huh? All right, I won't put you on the spot. That's all good.
Yeah.
Trav, I'm trying to share it, and I click on it, and then it doesn't come up.
What's the matter?
I'm trying to
Yeah,
share it.
You having some
Can you hear me?
internet issues? Or what?
New share. Click on huddle.
Yeah, we'll give you a little time here. I can mess with these guys all day. All right, so Willsbert.
Tommy, just trying to make the
Willsbert.
screen full screen right now.
Coach.
Like, make the
Willsbert,
video
what's your
full
favorite
screen.
class right now?
Do you see it?
Yeah,
All right, cool.
if you go to make
Thanks,
it,
Ron.
yeah, if you
class.
just click the full screen button for the video, you'll be good to go.
Yeah, Willsburg, Coach Garling bailed you out.
Yeah,
Boom.
art class.
Now we gotta make them answer. What do we got?
Art class.
well,
What's the
just-
question?
Art class?
Class. Yeah, art class.
So I guess you can't do like 3D art virtually. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, we're doing like this. I'm in like the computer, like 3D design or some crap like that.
Yeah, Willsy, you know what you should do? You should redesign Mesa's logo.
I kind of just want to go back to the Fever, Mesa Fresh Fever, the blue and black.
Yeah? You do want to go Mesa Fresh or just Fever?
I think we should go Fever.
Okay, we're down with that, man. All right, make us a good logo.
Day.
All right, let's go ahead, Slater.
All right, guys. How's everybody doing? All right. I'm just going to go over some, similar to what Coach Garling did on the offensive end, on the defensive end, and really from face-off all the way down to the goalie. Just want to go over some things just to make it, I've watched this film probably 2 or 3 times, and some really easy corrections. We did some great things and some things, if we correct, we could beat this team by a bunch. Opening face-off here. Understanding our face-off guys, you're going to take a lot of face-offs throughout the tournament, etc. If we lose the face-off, we want to try to get off right away and follow their guy off. I'll let this play out. He makes a nice goose to their guy. Connor, I like the aggressiveness, but maybe try to get off there. Melks, you could talk to him as well, saying, hey, I got you. Go ahead, Connor. If Connor just steps over midfield here, Coach Rufo will have an attackman coming off. Then we can get down and play 6-on-6. Because this happened, they got a 6-on-5 situation, which we'll see next.
What you eating there, buddy?
Eating some salmon, Coach.
All right on.
Some protein. All right, so here's the ass end of this play here. Buno comes on late because we subbed off late. It's a 6-on-5 for them. We kind of cover it nice. Guys, I'm a real big fan, as you know. If it's a 6-on-5 situation, we need to get in tight and kind of cover the pipes and out, right? We don't need to run out to somebody and create more space for them. We actually do cover it pretty well. Let it run through. Victor steps up. Now on ball. Sorry, let's go back. Watch it run through one more time. So we get caught here right away. Melks, you see that? You need to get in 10 yards, right? You see this is going to be an odd man rush, 6-on-5. Max, if you're here, we're yelling 5 on a dice. Let's get in and cover this until Buno can get in. Do a nice job. Live to fight another day. This is a little 2-man game here. My question would be, Colleen, what do offenses, what do they want to get to on the field? What are they looking for? Any thoughts, Colleen?
Come on, Colleen.
How do you mean? Do you mean like what's their goal or what are they trying to set up sort of?
Yeah, I mean, where are they trying to get to? Where are they trying to take advantage of? What gives them an advantage?
Well, obviously having a shorty, if they got a dodge from up top, one of their best play, well, they're good middies from up top against a shorty. That's the advantage that most teams are looking for.
Coach Garling said it a bunch. They want to get to space, right, guys? I mean, they want to take advantage of all this space, right? So our guys, what we do, I think a really good job of, we want to get all our backside defensemen on the backside pipe. Open up our hips so we can see our guys and support Victor here on ball. So I'll let it run through here. It's a little 2-man game. Sorry, it's not as long as it should be, but we'll go. So we'll start over. Number one, Victor, you got to know that a pick's coming, right? Someone's got to talk to him. You got to make sure, and you might have been, but you always have to have your right and your left eye, your peripheral vision, Victor, understanding that nowadays picks are coming, and we got to understand that you could have stepped back and got through that. But our general rule of thumb for picks, we want to step out and hedge. And, he did just a great job of this. He made a great play of getting through it. And then we were in a near man situation in Colleen. What a great slide to force him underneath because they had no crease guy. Good, nice job here. Coaches, anything there? Just watch it through. I don't know. This guy kind of swam you here or something. So now we're taking it to X. Let's watch it through. We push the backside. They're playing the numbers game too. Get a dodge and a goal.
Okay, Tom, if you would just rewind it for when they throw it up top and just pause it when Bueno's guy gets through, if you would.
Yep.
Right.
Another one?
When it goes up top.
Oh, okay.
Pause
Sorry.
it, please. And so right when this guy catches, right when this guy catches it, right there, stop. Okay. All right. So Bueno. All right. So you're the one call, right, on the crease there.
This is you.
Bueno.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So this is one of the biggest things in like when you go from youth lacrosse to high school lacrosse. That's very hard to teach. Okay. All right, so you can see Bueno's covering this dude on the crease. He's the one call. All right, he's in good shape right now. All right, okay. So in college, high school, okay, when someone dodges, right, that crease guy or whoever is always going to get through and go to the opposite side of the field. Okay, right, Bueno, and I know O'Grady, he preaches this like crazy. Right, I learned this from O'Grady more than anyone. Okay. When your guy gets through and goes to the other side of the field, okay, who cares? Let him go. Okay, you have 4 of your teammates on the other side that'll help you out. Okay, so just watch Bueno here, not to pick him apart at all, man. Okay, all right, so we call this occupying space. If Bueno stays exactly where he is right now, okay, we'd be in good shape, right? So you can see Bueno, he goes away with this guy, and then he slides and goes back to where he just was, okay? So that's called occupying space, okay, which is a big high school concept, which is different from youth lacrosse. But thanks, Tom.
Yep. So guys, and Victor or whoever, we started out with what does offense want? They want space. Coach Garling describes it very well on our offensive end. They want to take advantage of 10-yard runs. Roman, another point would be, hey, I'm cutting. If you're going to cut through and follow, which we don't want that, but maybe communicate to Victor. Victor, understand. Let's look at the space, right? We got to understand where they want to go to. Right, he's a righty, 68, switches to his left hand real quick right before he catches the ball because he wants you to go back towards where the ball came. Watch what he does. He's in his right hand, switches to his left. That screws you up a little bit, but he's taking advantage of that whole right alley. That's what he wants. You make a nice check here, just got to keep the feet moving. I like how you're flat, maybe just 6 inches more over to your left. That's all. The other thing, Charlie, you got to be on that back pipe, bud. That's like 3 passes over to 68. We got to be on the back pipe, 4 of us lined up right here to be able to support if, say, Bueno goes and Colleen maybe has to go or something. We've got to be able to support. If Bueno was to go, then his man's open, cutting through. If he does a fish hook, we've got to be able to be there to support him. That's all. Nice check. I don't know how he got out of that. That was a rip. Anything on Max there? Max, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
What up, Max?
Nothing much.
Yeah, Tom, you want to go back? I'll take that one.
Yep. Gotcha, coach.
Just right on the shot 'cause I think Trav stepped away. Yeah, Max, we don't want to avoid the goalies. Right on
There
the
it is.
shot, if you could pause it. Yeah, right there. Right, and this is with always trying to get your footwork to be down 100% within the goal. Right, you kind of see where your body's at as that shot's going. Right, you see how you're getting really small, you're getting really narrow, and you're on the pipe. Right, and every coaches have different opinions. Trav's probably a little different than me. Different things. But like when I'm looking at, being a goalie, like 68 feels really good about, hey, I got a lot of net to shoot at on that far pipe, right? Where if you're, you got your foot maybe even outside of the pipe there, if your feet are 6 inches to the left and you're like right in the center of that cage, maybe a little bit more ball side pipe, right? Now he's trying to fit the ball into a coffee can a little bit where he might, hey, he might pull it wide. He might kind of grip his stick too tight. Like when you're in kind of the I don't want to say the wrong spot because you're in the right spot, you're just over a little too much, right? That's where offensive guys shoot with a lot of confidence, right? When they're looking at small spots that they're trying to hit, that's where we tell our offensive guys, hey, shoot to the extreme corners and if you miss, we'll back it up and live for another day, right? But just kind of seeing your footwork and always wanting to get those alley dodges down and get each of those spots on the field down for you.
Yeah, thanks, Ron. Yeah, Max, I really preached to you in the fall, to really guard your off stick side, more than your stick side. But we're just overcompensating here a little bit, okay? And again, like I said in the beginning, man, it's easy to see on film, all right? It's hard to do it live, okay?
No doubt, this dude ripped it. All right, next play. Just let it run through here. A little transition, 4-on-3, 4-on-4. All right, just about this whole game, and we've got to do a better job of right now where the ball is. We've got to get into our shape, Max. It's all about recognizing the situation, coming over midfield, communicating it to your defenseman, then executing it. So it's recognize, communicate, execute. Okay, so right here, we could have made it a 4-on-4, I think, but it did turn out to a 4-on-3. But we got to get to the pipes, Brendan, Colleen. I think you were there. Victor, we got to get you down. They're playing a wide, fast break, so it's not a typical L, but that doesn't matter. We still have to get to the pipes. Getsy comes in. He'll be top left, and then I think Charlie's top right here. So let's watch it unfold. So Charlie, we're at 18 yards here, right? Stopping the ball. Do we ever want to be there? No. We want to be at 10 yards. The height of our box, because it's 4-on-4 or 4-on-3, the point guys want to be at 10 yards. If they start winding up at 12, you can go out to them, but we want to be tight. They want us to be spread. Okay, so since we started so high, and Victor, you're not down on the pipe yet, right? You've got to come all the way across to this right-handed attackman because Cooleen's sliding upfield. Tough one, right? You make it, but Cooleen goes too. So Cooleen, if you want to do that, you've got to yell hold, right? So then Victor backs off, okay? And they make a nice play. So we double that guy. Getsy's got the back pipe, fine. And they pass back to the midi, and he gets a shot. Not picking on anyone, but we talk about busting it into the hole, sprinting, not jogging, not watching, not looking. Sprint in, turn, and then play inside-out defense, right? Brody, just watch, and you never know what's going to happen. Right here, you're kind of coasting a little bit, right? And you might think you've got your guy here. Wills, you're humping it. But if you bust it here, Brody, I think you get in and make that check on that guy that scores. Kind of jogging one hand on your stick, then you realize it, right? We don't want to realize, we don't want to not get in. We want to get in behind him, between the goal and him, Then we relax. Well, not relax, but now you're in position, right? So if something goes wrong, we're there to help.
Tommy, can you go back? Can I make one point for you? Kind of a quick one.
Yeah.
So as the pause it right before the ball goes down to like the low righty attackman, like right here. You can even pause it. So fellas, and this is really hard again, and we work on this a ton at Cabrini, right? And it's the hardest thing to focus on because there's never a specific right answer for a defenseman on this, but it's something that you guys have to really work on. And I see it a lot as high school kids struggle with it, but you work on it and they get better at it in college, is learning how to decelerate, right? Because when you watch this, okay, while, you know, they made a great play, right? I'm not sure if anything different happens. All right. If you also were to roll this clip back even further, not that you have to do it, Tommy, don't do it. This goal, the issue that the team that messed, or the people that messed up on this goal was actually the offense, right? So we gave them a cupcake shot on that end, which created a 4-on-3, right? So this is not a goal and the coaching staff that goes on the defense. It goes on the offense. That's their fault, right? But when you watch, all right, I keep thinking my screen, as the point guy throws it down to the righty, right? We have both Victor, we have two defensemen that are flying at him, and neither of you guys start to chop your feet and break down, and he goes by both of you, right? And again, it's finding that, and this is the hardest part, it's finding that happy balance of how do I close the gap and possibly get my stick on the offensive player, but also being able to break down, right, so he doesn't just run right by me. Right? I mean, this guy with the amount of, you know, speed that we run by him with, he could have ran by both of those guys and scored the ball himself, right? As opposed to throwing it back to the point guy who ultimately scores it because he's running by both of you, right? And it's a happy balance of trying to, hey, I got to take big choppy steps or big steps to close the gap. But as I start to get close, I got to chop my feet and I got to start to break down to be able to keep them in front of me.
So, yeah, if you yell out, hey, I got left pipe, that helps Charlie because he then busts his butt all the way down to 14 and doesn't really know you're there. Charlie, great job. You played it the point too high, but great job pivoting and getting your stick to the inside. Victor, hopefully you understand that, or everybody, we want to build from the pipes out, right? We want to be inside out, give up the outside shots. We just don't want to give up dunks.
Tom, just to give you kind of heads up here, so it's 8:10 now. I mean, we're welcome to go a little longer. I just don't want to keep these guys longer than we promised. You know, I know they have schoolwork and stuff. So,
want to go one more?
Yeah, that's great.
Sorry, Tommy, I cut into your time.
No problem, buddy. No problem. All right, next one. Let's see what we got here. Another transition. Okay, I'll just let it play through, and then we got beat pretty good in transition here, guys. And this is something that we can easily correct with what Coach Garling's talking about. You know, bad shots on the DN, but we get in here, right? To me, it's a clear 4-on-4, right? Dylan O'Connor's on ball, but at the end of the day, we might want to treat this like a 4-on-3 because if this is number 23 is a high level midi, I'm chomping at the bit to beat a short pole in open space, right? So, Victor, again, you're up high. We need to get you on the pipe. Charlie, if you're on the pipe here, you won't get backdoored here, right? And Coolin, you got to understand and see this KYP, know your personnel, know who's playing. No offense to Dylan O'Connor, any short pole is in trouble here. But this guy actually makes a pass down to the backdooring attackman. So anyway, we treat this as a 4-on-3, not a 4-on-4, in my opinion, right? Watch it one more time. Just because look at all this space, Dylan's in trouble, right? So we get into a triangle, we get into our shape, then we play defense. That means Coolin, you're at 10 yards right in the center. Victor, you're on left pipe. Charlie, you're on right pipe. Your left foot, Charlie, is on the crease. So that way, if you're looking upfield, you will not be able to get backdoored. Let's let it run through. Again, these things happen, guys. You know, nice save by Max. He runs out of room. Again, real easy fixes, guys. You know, thanks to Mr. Duraco for giving us this film And then we have the Boston game too. Somehow, hopefully we can get them to you guys or post them on the site somehow. But I love watching this stuff and trying to help you guys out because it really will help out. If you visualize it, then you step out in the field and it'll help you guys out. That's all, Coach.
Yeah, thanks, man. Okay, so guys, you're freaking lucky, man, to have Coach Garling and Slate that know what they're talking about, like break down film for you like this. So I'll just close it with this. Back to like Grant, like I'll tell you this: if Grant Ament, right, like, and Sowers were on this 2020 team, 2023 team, right, and they're attackmen, okay, I guarantee you they would be attending this defensive session. I guarantee it. Okay. So my hat goes off to the attackmen that stayed on, all right, that are listening to what we're trying to teach the defense right now. Okay. I mean, as an offensive player, there's no better way to get better than to understand what the defense is trying to do against you. Okay. What I'll say on the flip side of that, okay, is Chris Sabia, right, who we're going to have on next week, okay? In the beginning of this call, when we were doing the offensive stuff, if he was on the 2023 team, I guarantee you Chris Sabia would have been at that session, right? Because he knows that he can become a better defenseman by understanding what the offense is trying to do against them, okay? So next, like Slate said, all right, we got the Massachusetts game. Okay, we'll try to do another one of these down the road. All right, that was a good W for us against that good Massachusetts team at the same event. Just a reminder, okay, we just put this up. Okay, so tomorrow, Doc Aiken, I don't think I need to introduce who Doc Aiken is. Okay, he's going to be breaking down with Coach Petrone last year's national championship game, Virginia against Yale. Okay, if you want to get better at lacrosse, okay, I would want to hear what Doc Aiken has to say from an offensive standpoint. It's going to be geared more probably from offense, but from Doc's standpoint. But I know Coach Petrone, okay, will do some defensive stuff too. Okay, all right. So guys, thanks for attending. All right, like I said earlier, all right, make sure you're being a good son. Okay, this is an important time to be a good son. All right, or brother. Okay. All right, so thanks for attending, all right, and we'll reach out soon. All right, you guys have a good night, all right?
Take care, guys.